All right, guys, on this segment, we're going to be talking about, do you need a business plan when you're starting a business? You already know the answer. If you've watched enough of these videos, you already know what the answer is to this, but we're going to dive into it here, okay? What is a business plan? It's a document that's outlining your business goals, your strategies, your finances. It's basically saying that you did due diligence on the business that you want to start and that you're understanding what you're going into. Now, for all intents and purposes and all jokes aside, I've started many companies without a business plan, and the business plan evolved from there. One of them, it was 3 hours from idea to logo to 10-page website, 40K in sales in the first month, and then we did over $1 million in sales many months after, a few months after actually. And ultimately, there was no business plan on that. The business plan evolved, and it was in the making as we went along. I don't advise that for most because it takes a higher level thought process and understanding of the marketplace and a tremendous amount of time to course correct and the ability to course correct. I will tell you that right now. If I would have had a better direction going into this, then probably we would have done a lot better. However, what actually helped there for us was that we were marketers. I'm a marketer. And so understanding the power of marketing, paid ads, content, the entire breadth of the marketing industry and running a marketing agency as well, this was a lot easier for me to do. But those of you that do not have that capability, like a marketing agency or the understanding of everything within the marketing world, you're going to want to do a business plan because you want to know the who, what, why, when, where, and how of your product and your business. You want to make sure that you know this and that you've done due diligence. Not to mention, the business plan is going to be asked for should you get any requests or want to bring on angel investors, venture capitalists, venture capital firms, or anybody else that's going to invest in your business. If you're seeking investment, you're going to want to have a business loan. A business loan. If you have a business loan, you want to have a business plan. But I'm talking about a business plan here, right? Getting the words mixed. We've done a lot of these videos. So anyways, why are business plans important? Like I just said, securing funding, investors, or banks, providing clarity and direction. People want to see anybody else that you're going to do business with, that you're seeking something from them, work, onboarding, investment, anything like that. They're going to want to see, is this person really going after what they want? Did they do their due diligence? In this day and age, people just want to do things and they want everything, but they don't want to put the work and the effort into it. And that shows. We're talking about micro moments here, and we're talking about your actions, what you say, everything that you do on the back end. It's really what it comes down to is, what are you doing behind the scenes when nobody's looking? What are you doing when you're not with the crowd and when you're in private? Are you actually really doing the due diligence on this business? Are you doing your research? Are you looking into things? Are you studying? One of my biggest companies, I've actually started by doing a year-long of due diligence. Yeah, I sold a couple of products to test it out and get feedback, but it was a year of researching. I didn't know anything about the CO2 industry, nothing. I was a DJ, and I said, I want to make these cryo cannons that shoot fog out, and I need to know about them. So I researched it, researched the CO2, researched the hoses. A year of due diligence, of researching everything I could, competitors, everything in the market, competitors local and overseas. What are they doing? What aren't they doing? Guess what that year did? That year paid off because when I created the company and I changed the landscape of the entire industry. And no, I'm not just saying that to throw roses at myself and give myself accolades, which I'll take them. However, what I did is I did enough research where I came in, I knew everything. I knew the price points, the materials, the lingo, I knew the details, the data, I knew the frequencies, I knew the decibel, I knew everything. Like I could go on and on and on, and I knew it better than actually a lot of my competitors. Why? Because I surveyed for a year. There's been people that have started flower shops that did the same thing. They didn't know anything about flowers, right? They wanted to start a flower shop, but they ended up finding out about it, and they had the best flower shops in the entire state. True story, you can look these up online. Not to mention, getting into the DJ world. I knew more about weddings than every other DJ. When I consulted brides and grooms, I let them know about different things beyond what a DJ would know. You become a consultant, you become the person that's putting your business plan together. I can rest assure you it will do wonders for you in the future. This is everything that needs to be included in a business plan. That's why they're so important. So what is included in it actually? Well, you have your summary, your market analysis, you're gonna have your marketing strategy, your finances, and of course, other items in there are going to be different actions, and different projects. You're gonna have different projects in there. You're gonna have different projections, financial projections, anything that's relevant. You don't want to overload this thing. However, I do have a video that's on this channel that talks just about business plans. I want to say it was like 15 or 30 minutes. We broke it up, I think, in the 2 segments. Don't quote me on this, but it's on the channel where we talk about business plans. Why? They're vitally important, and there's so much information, what needs to be included and what's not. So when do you need a business plan? When you're starting a capital intensive business, right? And we talked about that a couple of segments ago. Capital intensive businesses are like manufacturing, production, anything that needs machines, right? Service-based businesses online like SaaS companies are not going to be manufacturing heavy, and they're not going to be capital intensive heavy. If you're starting a plumbing company, you're going to need trucks, you're going to need equipment, you're going to need tools, you're going to need all this. That's a capital intensive business. If you're starting a marketing agency online where you're just running ads for somebody and you need a couple people, that's a low capital intensive business. All right, so you should have business plans for both, but definitely on the high capital intensive side, because you want to make sure that you have everything noted for. And we walked you through this. I walked you through this segments ago, so watch that if you haven't watched it yet. Same series, a couple of segments ago. Now, if you're seeking loans or investor funding, it's critical. If you go to try to get funding and you do not have a business plan, forget it. Banks, venture capital firms, active investors, angel investors, things like that. Listen, don't even approach them if you don't have a business plan and you don't have your business plan vetted. My recommendation here, professional tip, is go ahead, create your business plan, hire somebody online. We talk about this in our virtual scaling program. If you want more information, I'll have a link below. But ultimately, you can go online and you can get people to review your business plan that have seen hundreds of these, thousands of these, and give you tips on how to make it better. Refine it, get it better, so that you have version 7 or 8 by the time you're going in front of these firms for capital or these angel investors, and you have your ducks in a row. I've talked about that many times, right? So what's alternatives to full business plans? Well, lean canvas or one-page summaries for quick planning. I really don't like this because it's very minimum. Because in your business plan, you need to talk about, like I said, market analysis, the executive summary. What's your team? Who's your team? This is more on the larger funder founder side. When they do their pitches, they're talking about their team, they're talking about their problem, they're talking about all of this stuff. It's indirectly a business plan, kind of separate, but they share a lot of similarities. So you don't just want a one-pager. Real estate is real big on this. When you have real estate deals, they're talking about their team, they're talking about the deal, they're talking about the plan, the pro forma, all of it. That's kind of a business plan. A little bit different. It's a pitch deck, really, but it has elements from the business plan in it. So they are different, but you want to make sure that you have more information than not enough, but not too much information that is not necessary and doesn't help paint the picture of I did my good due diligence versus I just threw a bunch of information in here to make it look better and bigger and make me sound smarter. Very careful on that, because it will actually do the opposite and make you look worse than you think it will. So real world example of success of business with strong business plans. Like I said, I've started businesses with no business plans. I've started businesses with business plans, had business plans on some of my biggest companies, right? We just launched a new business recently, and it deals with founders and entrepreneurs and everything else. Founders Field Day, there's a business plan for that. It's on the back end. I did my research, 2 months of in-depth research on the market, on everything else. And I have it in a document already, right? What is the market? What is the executive summary? What's the marketing strategy? What are the future programs we're going to offer? What are everything that we are going to be doing? Where's the group going to be hosted? How does this work? Where's the funnels, and where's the marketing, and where's the client flow? On a higher level here, you could look at like data and architect. Like, what is a data architect? What's a security architect? What do they do? If you type these terms online, you're not going to need these, because these are for major corporations that are dealing with hundreds of millions. They bring in these architects and they essentially architect the business. And they say, what's the customer flow? What's the security? What's a systems architect? What are they going to be doing? What's a data architect with the business? If you learn these and you see some of these charts online, if you do a search for any one of these online, and you go to images, you'll see different charts, and it jogs your mind. It gets you thinking about how to structure your business, because you need to know all of this stuff. And the more informed you can be, the better. What do we have up next? We're going to talk about permits and licenses. What do you need? Which ones do you need to start your business? See you on the next one.